Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the 5 worst brawlers in the meta. These brawlers definitely need a buff. They've not been shown love for a very long time. So this is just personal opinions of competitive gameplay and ladder gameplay. What brawlers I actually struggle pushing the most in 3v3. I do take into account showdown a little bit, but mostly it's 3v3 and how hard it is to push. But I'm playing with Drage and Detail. I'll put both of their socials in the description below. But without further ado, let's jump into number 5. Alright guys, moving into the 5th worst brawler in the game right now, I'm going to be going for Brawl. So Brawl, for a lot of people on ladder, especially pushing, is really hard to actually push. And even in Heist, because Heist isn't really the most efficient way to push, just because of how good Gale is at the minute. But Brawl just not been good for a long time. Inside of Brawl Stars, he's definitely in need of a big buff. I don't know what I'm doing here. The ball's just going absolutely crazy. We're able to score anyway, but as I said, Ball's just been really bad. He's the worst tank by far. His best game mode, Heist, he's not even that good in anymore, which is a real shame to see. He used to be the king of Heist. He used to be so good in Heist. No one could touch him. By far the best tank, and now he's just not that good. So I think he needs a HP buff again, and probably a bit of damage or something like that, or his star power to get buffed, or his gadget or something like that to give him a bit more viability within the meta. Because as I said, it's not versatile whatsoever. So many different brawlers counter him now, and I feel like probably the best way is to give him back that HP, because he did get nerfed back a while ago. I think it's like 6 months ago. For whatever reason, he got a big HP nerf, and then ever since he's just been absolutely trash in the meta. So it'd be nice to see some love for Bull again. But I'm going to try to be pushing him in Brawl, just because it's the most efficient way to push. As I said, in Heist, I just don't feel like it's reliable at all. Even if using Ball, that's probably his best mode, but it's just not reliable in the slightest at all, just because of how base race Heist is on ladder, and even on competitive when Gale's in play. But nice pull from Drage. We should be able to get the goal here. Let's just charge off to the right. We should be able to make an opening. Okay, nice. Let's just kill this Primo. Only Tara left. Let's try and get her down, and we're able to score. So Bull, as I said, fifth worst brawler inside of a game. Needs some sort of buff to his HP or his gadget or his star power to make him more viable within the game. That's going to be the 5th worst brawler right now in Brawl Stars. Let's jump into the 4th worst. Alright guys, moving into the 4th worst brawler inside of a meta right now, I've gone for Crow. So Crow's been ridiculously hard to push inside a ladder, just because a lot of his counters are really strong in Brawl, and especially he's not really the best in any other mode. Brawl is definitely his strongest mode in 3v3, I feel like. Maybe Heist, he can get away with playing him, but I just don't think he's that good there. Dieter's already got his surge pretty high, but as I said, Crow just really weak at the minute. The shield gadget's definitely the better one. You're gonna be able to make the most plays with that gadget, and it's the only reason why he's even top 4, to be honest. Well, top 4 and the worst. Else he would be pretty much lower without that gadget. The gadget enables you to make some really aggressive plays, and by far the best thing about him is just too squishy. Just doesn't have the DPS to really do too much. There's just a lot of spam in this meta. There's a lot of like Gale, there's a lot of Surge, and everyone just kind of outranges him, out damages him, out everything him at the minute. So Crow, I feel like I don't feel like he'll ever really get the buff that he deserves, just because he just has an annoying mechanic. I remember back in the beta days, Crow used to be so OP, and with the constant ticking down of enemies and just chipping you down over time, it's just a really annoying mechanic, and not a mechanic I don't feel like Supercell want to see very OP in the game. So I feel like the way to just buff him is probably by giving him some extra health, maybe giving him a bit of a gadget, so maybe like 3 uses of that shield gadget, or just nerfing other brawlers around him. But Crow's always going to be a weird brawler to balance, but he's going to be the 4th worst brawler. As I said, he's decent in showdown, he's going to be good in Brawl, but everywhere else not really the best to push on. But that's going to be the 4th worst brawler in the game right now. Let's move on to the 3rd. Alright then, so moving on to the 3rd worst brawler in the game, it's going to be Jessie. So Jessie, for a very long time now, I think she's been in the bottom 5 at ranking for brawlers, literally for about a year. It's been a very long time since she's been meta, and again, it's another brawler that can be really annoying, especially at low trophy ranges. This is where people have got to realise, especially pro players, that Jessie just is a really hard brawler to balance, because in the low trophy ranges, Jessie's so dominant. just because obviously the skill gap is much worse, and people struggle and clump up a lot with Jesse and turret. So that's probably why it's going to be hard to balance such a brawler, just literally because of the low trophy range. So I'm trying to kind of think of an idea how to buff Jesse. So definitely leave in the comment section below. I'm struggling for Fort, maybe like a HP buff or something along those lines, just because you don't want to like buff her attack or turret, just because then she'll just be too broken at the lower trophy ranges. But she definitely needs a buff. She's been really weak for such a long time. I'd like to see a bit more love for Jessie, because she used to be so good inside a gem grab. That used to be her go-to game mode. Used to be able to play really good, play with turrets behind the walls and just camp there. But as I said, she's not been good for a very long time. And it's mainly due to the fact she doesn't have a good DPS. She takes a very long time to get a turret. She has a really slow reload speed. She has low damage. And kind of in this meta where there's a lot of fast brawlers like Max, Jackie, there's Surge, Gale, there's a lot of fast-paced action, a lot of run and gun moments, and Jessie just can't keep up with things. So that's why she's not going to be good. And again, another one of these brawlers where you just don't want to touch, and it's going to be hard to balance it as such, just because of how broken it could potentially be. Dredge with a nice pull, and I should be able to get the goal here. Let's see if we can sneak it in against this BB. Okay, nice. We managed to trick shot inside of that one. So Jessie is going to be the third worst brawler inside of the game. Just really struggled to push her. I mean, she can counter the likes of B and a few other mids. She can be decent against, but against a lot of other brawlers, you can just literally run into a Jessie. She doesn't deal with that much damage at all. But that's going to be the third worst brawler in the game. Let's jump into number 2. Okay guys, moving on to the second worst brawler inside of the game. I've gone for 8-bit. So 8-bit, everyone surely knows how painful it is to push him on 3v3. It's actually really good in Showdown, one of the best Showdown brawlers, just literally for the fact of teaming. So I feel like straight away they need to nerf his or get rid of his extra lifestyle power. It's the only reason why he's even viable in Showdown. Without that, it's not going to be good at all. So 8-bit, everyone surely knows how hard it is to push him because of his mobility. A lot of brawlers just seem to get around the map much easier, and he just gets countered by pretty much everything. So the likes of every single long range brawler just counters him, and definitely needs in need of a big buff for sure. But that's got to be a win already. Let's hop into another game. Alright, so going into another game with 8-bit, because somehow we got carried so hard with him. So just a bit more gameplay and talking about what I feel like needs to improve with him. Dre should be able to pull him, and the best kind of maps for him are definitely the open range ones. But inside of this kind of trophy range, oh no, I could have TP'd there. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot for not doing that. I could have TP'd and probably scored there. So we're just going to stay here though. But as I said, they definitely need to balance his star power, just because in Showdown it's the only good thing about him. And with that nerf, it might actually bring some life in his 3v3 gameplay. So it'll make things interesting for sure. But also at the time where he was good in the meta when he was first released, there was a couple of heist maps that were really long range that actually suited him, and just overall the kind of meta suited him. There wasn't like a Sprout. Brock wasn't as good in the meta as he is now, and a lot of other brawlers like that. It's mainly just due to the fact of his counters, that the reason why he's not as good as he should be or could be. Actually no, damn it, I thought we actually scored there, so I kind of put my iPad down. As you can see, we're kind of spawn trapping him. I'm going to place this here, but he does do a ton of damage, and if you've got good aim you can definitely shred some enemies. But the thing about him, as I said, it's just his mobility. I hate playing 8-bit. It's probably the one brawler that I hate playing the most, even though he's a fun long range aspects about him. Just the fact that he's slow just really annoys me, and just makes him a really boring brawler to play. So I feel like maybe to make a gadget where he has an increased speed for a certain amount of time, that might bring some life to him, or a star power or something like that, just to give him some an extra something, because he's seriously lacking in that department. And we're just spawn trapping these guys for such a long time, but we can't score, as I've literally got 0 goal scoring potential. His gadget with the with a turret, I don't really find too much usage out of it. It can help in a few scenarios, but it's very situational dependent. And be interested to see what gadget he actually gets, because it might actually bring some life into him if it's a really good one, like a speed boost or something. But we should be able to take the spike down. And again, we're just spawn trapping these guys. We can probably wait till overtime, to be honest. We haven't got a wall break other than Gene to break that wall down, so we can just wait. D2 can get to max range, and he's going to be able to melt with the turret. But the turret is a very good thing about him. Probably the best thing about him, to be honest, in 3v3 is the amount of damage you can get with him. So we're just going to wait here and probably get the goal here. So it's going to be GG for that one. Excuse the voice crack at the end, but we're able to pick up the win with 8-bit there. As I said, he's such a trash brawler inside of 3v3. Hoping for a buff for him soon. But that's going to be the second worst brawler in the game right now. Let's jump into the worst. Alright guys, so moving on to the worst brawler in the game in my opinion, it's going to be Dynamite. So the main reason I'm saying this, I'm taking into account a bit of Showdown, because 8-bit can actually be pushed on Showdown. Dynamite's going to be the worst one in my opinion. The meta just really never ever suits Dynamite at all. It really struggles against the really aggressive comps. There's only certain few maps you can actually play him on. And just overall not really the best brawler to push inside of Brawl Stars. There's just so many different options. Every throw is better than him, and brawlers, as I said, like the Gale max meta just really doesn't suit him. It's going to be really hard to hit these brawlers constantly because you've been max speeded everywhere, and even like Jackie's kind of hard to play against because she can just run up to your face. But Dynamite really needs some love. Again, I feel like he needs a buff with his gadget or something along those lines to give him a bit of love. And definitely give him some resurgence in Brawl Stars, because this fidget spinner, even with the buff, it's a little bit better. Speed's definitely a good addition, but just overall there could be something much better that improves Dynamite. The gadget is only really used for speed and a little bit of chip damage to finish off a kill maybe. I mean, it's got its uses, but there could be a lot better that helps him within the meta. I'm not too sure what it could be. I think the one I actually seen, I'm not 100% sure whether it was Dynamite or a different brawler, but apparently I think it's like Stuns the Brawler or something like that, which could be a good addition. But looking like we can pick up the win inside of this one with Dynamite. But Dynamite's got to be the worst brawler inside of the game in my opinion. A good Dynamite can dominate the game, but it's very rare to find a good Dynamite, and even if you are a good Dynamite, the meta just really doesn't suit him at a minute, so he's going to be the worst brawler in the game. Okay guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. Again, definitely check out Drage and D2's socials in the description below. Both really good players and constantly playing with them all the time. But at a minute, as you can see, I'm still really high. I'm aiming for 39k today and trying to get in 45k by the end. As I said, it'll be hard as always because of the scrims and we've got the qualifiers, but I'll be trying to get as high as possible. But really good push going at the minute. Got a couple of brawlers to 1.1k and going really well. But as I said, let me know what videos you want to see from me during this push, what type of videos you like to enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.